The two-party system is flawed. It will wind up ruining America as we know it. The two-party system is forcing two terrible candidates upon us and forcing us to choose from the lesser of two evils. President Obama has done nothing of what he has promised. He promised an economic reform in the wake of the biggest recession that we have seen since the Great Depression. That promise was too lofty. He did, in fact, help save us from slipping into a Great Depression, but that will go overlooked because of his original promises. He also promised to help reunite America. And while he helped unite America's people, he separated Congress more than ever been. He did do some good things in America. He helped save the car industry, and he pulled the troops out of Iraq. But because of his promises during his original candidacy, he will forever be looked at as a failure unless he is re-elected. Obama is going on record as saying that he is a two-term president, and for him ever to be seen successful, he needs to be elected for a second time. Mr. Romney, I really don't know where he's coming from. He's really hard to pinpoint. He really only talks about one thing, and it's the economy. Now, he does know a lot about the economy. He ran a very successful $1 million company, $1 billion company, in fact. But he did take a bailout, and he's actually been on record saying that he doesn't believe the company should ever get a bailout. Really? He is really stronghold on abortion. He is not flip-flopped on that. He doesn't want anyone to get aborted. And in fact, his wife has gone on record and said that she thinks rape should be legitimized. I don't know what a legitimate rape is, but it should be legitimized before a woman should even be allowed to get an abortion after being raped. He's really on about the 1%. He wants to wash out any financial aid, any Social Security. He doesn't want any of that. He says bankrupting America, and it is bankrupting America because the baby boomers are our biggest population of America, and they're using up all the Social Security. But it's theirs. They earned it. Why take it from them? His campaign is ran by idiots. He's really not a bad candidate. It's just his campaign is ran by idiots. Allow him to flip flop, allow him to say pretty much whatever he wants. But because President Obama did not come through with any of his outlandish claims in his original candidacy, Romney is actually convincing people he is the better candidate. My candidate, however, is Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson is the correct candidate. Johnson isn't one of those incapable, extremist, wacky, millionaire third-party candidates. He is an extremist. He wants to abolish the IRS, legalize marijuana, and allow the private sector to create competing currencies. Sure, he's a little wacky. He's finished 75 triathlons, climbed Mount Everest 8 weeks after breaking his leg in a skiing accident, and crashed while paragliding. And yeah, he is a millionaire. In 1999, he got $10 million for a handyman business he started his junior year of college and built into a 1,000-employee construction firm. He is capable. As a Republican, he won 2 terms as the governor of New Mexico with no prior political experience, eliminating the deficit and creating a surplus before leaving office in 2003 with high approval ratings, which he recovered after dipping 30 points when he talked about drug legalization. He said, Ron Paul is a socialist conservative. I am not. Ron Paul would talk about legalizing marijuana, but he's never smoked marijuana. Gary Johnson, he just wild. I don't agree with almost everything. I don't agree with everything he says, but I do agree with most stuff. He has the right answer. Gary Johnson has all the right answers for America. I know that because he is a libertarian and the party doesn't get the money to compete with the two-party system. A lot of you have never heard of it. When the Democratic Party is trying to say 1 plus 1 equals 0, and the Republican Party is trying to say 1 plus 1 equals 3, choose the candidate that says it equals 2. Give him the 5% he needs to make the party get respect. Vote in freedom. Really, that's all you can do. The two-party system is trying to take our freedom away by forcing us to choose from 2 candidates. Now, this year is the very first year since I've been following it that the 2 candidates have been as bad. Really and truly, I think McCain should have won in 2008 after going back and reviewing it. He had a lot of the right answers, and we really could use him as president. But I did vote for Obama. Obama is not the terrible president that everyone thinks he is, but because of all his lofty goals at the beginning of his candidacy, he just looks like he hasn't done anything. Really, he has done some things. Romney's not a terrible guy. I like the fact that he stands up for his religion, even though some evangelists call it a cult. I like a lot of things about Romney. And I think he will fix the economy. But he can't wipe out the middle class. This country is not a company. It can't be ran from the top down. It has to be ran from the middle out. And even though Romney did earn $20 million in 2010, he only paid 14% in taxes. Now, why would he vote for a tax reform that would cause him to pay more taxes? He wouldn't. That's why he's a terrible candidate. He also lies about everything. Gary Johnson is the correct man for America. Vote for freedom, please.